I know there are many hidden gems that I am missing out on. This is your chance to recommend to this casual player the games you love playing and why. Story 1. Not everyone's cup of tea. I mainly play real-time strategy games like Age of Empires 2. Games are relatively short, and there is no obligation to play every day or every hour. Story 2. Helldivers 2 is a game I play with a couple of friends for about 2 hours every other day. It is absolutely hilarious to see my friends get obliterated by a rocket and flung across the screen in many pieces. Jokes aside, if you have 3 buddies and a voice chat, it is a great time. Story 3. Detroit. Become Human is an interactive movie that I love. If you have never played it before, I highly recommend trying it. Story 4. Valheim adjusts resource drop and death penalty modifiers to alleviate grind, making it the best survival adventure game ever. Even the tutorial area is satisfying. Pokémon features old Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles with easy gameplay and a good challenge. Star Wars. Knights of the Old Republic is the best Star Wars role-playing game ever. Pazak can be a chore, but it's important not to skip it on a particular space station. Dark Forces Remastered and Shadows of the Empire are the best single-player first-person and third-person shooters for Star Wars. The Bard's Tale trilogy is a remastered RPG classic. The Banner Saga trilogy is a great turn-based RPG. Story 5. I'm back to playing Skyrim. It's still a great game, and there are many side quests I haven't completed. Story 6. Finally picked up The Last of Us Part 1 and fell in love. I finished it in 2 days, so I am a bit sad it was that short, but it has a great story. I can't wait for Part 2 to be available on PC. Story 7. As a 33-year-old man with a full family and responsibilities, I am finally in the third act of Baldur's Gate 3. Every moment of this game is absolutely stunning. Story 8. Back into Cyberpunk. It's actually good now. Ever since the 2.0 update, the game is finally in an acceptable state, and the modding community has really taken off. Unfortunately, since the 2.0 update, CD Projekt Red has continuously released minor updates that fix very little while also disrupting all mods, making it quite challenging for us, but that's the nature of modding. Anyway, version 2.12 has been out for a little while, and things seem to have calmed down in Poland as they focus on RE kit for The Witcher 3. So everything's back up to date and playable. It only took 4 years, but it's actually a great game now. Story 9. Currently playing Red Dead Redemption 2, but there are chores in the game. I have to make sure I'm feeding and grooming my horse, and I need to take care of myself too. Feeding myself is a chore because I have to set up camp to cook, but I can't set up camp if there are nearby activities. If I need to feed myself and I can't always do that, then give me restaurants in the towns. It's a pretty fun game, and I absolutely love the first part. The story is interesting enough so far, but the maintenance can be frustrating. I also have to give money and food to my gang, along with managing other tasks. I realized yesterday that I need to immerse myself in the game, rather than worrying about immediately progressing from mission to mission. I should spend some time just enjoying the sights and engaging in activities. Anyway, I recently finished Jedi Fallen Order and then Jedi Survivor. Those games are phenomenal. The gameplay reminds me of God of War because of all the puzzles you have to solve. But the story is amazing. I would definitely recommend these games. Story 10. Just started playing Dave the Diver. It's good fun. You can say goodbye to your loved ones if you enjoy city builders, resource management, and assembly games like Captain of Industry. I would rate it 10 out of 10. Story 11. Astroneer, Planet Crafter, Dishonored, Frostpunk, Last Day of June, Transport Tycoon, and Vamper are all available on Steam. Last Day of June is based on an album by one of my favorite musicians, and his music can be heard in the game. The story is quite sad, but you can complete it in just a few hours. I loved the graphics and the storytelling. On Epic Games, I've discovered a few gems as well. Deliver Us Mars and Orwell. Story 12. I love the Zelda games. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on the Nintendo Switch are great. The open-world design allows you to make the game as hard or as easy as you like, and it's very easy to play for short sessions or for hours at a time. I spent hundreds of hours on each game. We bought the Switch in 2020, and for some reason, I had a lot of free time back then. Story 13. RimWorld is a game where you can play with a casual storyteller and build a small village. The mechanics of the game are amazing, allowing you to specify work zones for your characters, guiding them on how to craft and sort items. It is very relaxing and features a great soundtrack. Story 14. Apex or Splitgate. Maybe if I want to run a game where I know I will be alone, I will play Dead by Daylight. Story 15. I recently returned to Battlefield 2042, and it's actually fun. I also bought Lego The Hobbit on sale. If anyone is interested in playing, my Steam username is JIMVC2. I have the Darth Vader profile picture. The games I own include Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 2042, Lego Lord of the Rings, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and Breakpoint, as well as Total War, Medieval 2 Definitive Edition, and others. I recently downloaded X-Defiant. Story 16. Crossfire has been new for my brother and me. It is free to play and allows for extensive customization of vehicles in a Mad Max style for battles against each other. The game features a campaign mode as well as multiplayer options. The vehicles that players create are outrageous. Story 17. I primarily play Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. Currently, I am spending more time online because I need a break from the emotional impact of story mode. Story 18. Playing Fallout 4 on survival mode on PS5, after only playing once on normal difficulty at launch, feels like an entirely new game. Story 19. I finally bought my first PlayStation a few weeks ago. I have been playing Helldivers as my multiplayer game of choice. I just beat God of War 2018 a few minutes ago. I am not sure what to do next. Story 20. Empyrean is a relaxed survival and building game that ranges from being stranded with nothing to jumping between solar systems. I have 300 hours invested in it and have yet to play the campaign. I genuinely enjoy the versatility of mining, raiding, building, and traveling. Story 21. Valheim can be a chore, but it is relaxing if you are not in a rush. Ghost of Tsushima became a top 5 game for me in less than 2 hours. Story 22. Open world burnout is real. Approaching these games from a completionist viewpoint can make it worse. I found that open world games became a lot more enjoyable when I let go of the need to do everything. You don't need to do everything. Feel free to skip the fetch quests and just follow the main story if it's not engaging for you. The filler content is optional, not mandatory. There's also nothing wrong with choosing more tightly focused titles if you're feeling exhausted by the genre. Games are meant to be fun after all. Story 23. Hunt Down. Hunt Down is an action-packed, atmospheric cyberpunk shooter filled with throwbacks to what the 1980s envisioned for the future. Behind its vibrant comic style and bold tone lies a superb, meticulously crafted run-and-gun experience, featuring creative and addictive gameplay at a breakneck pace. Local cooperative play enhances the experience, making us feel incredibly cool while playing Hunt Down. Story 24. Not exactly a hidden gem, but Ghost of Tsushima is great. The Witcher 3 and its downloadable content are amazing. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is impressive. Fallout 4 gets really good after the initial hour or two. Story 25. I am on the gacha train, playing Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves. I primarily spend on the battle passes except for one time and possibly the next. Story 26. League of Legends. Do not consider it if you value your happiness. Someone held captive by the game since 2012. Story 27. I am currently playing Fallout New Vegas on PlayStation 3. I am on the edge of my seat every second I play that game, but it is fun anyway. I also just finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey and am now playing Assassin's Creed Origins on PlayStation 4. Forgive me, I do not keep up with the latest gaming technology. I do not even own a PlayStation 5, and I am contemplating firing up my PlayStation 2 for old time's sake. Story 28. Slay the Spire is easy to jump into, allowing for mindless play while watching television. I am playing Cat Quest 2 with my wife. It is an action role-playing game filled with humorous puns that is surprisingly fun and occasionally challenging. Story 29. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I understand that some may view the optional regional intel quests as repetitive chores, but they make my checklist-loving mind happy. Additionally, the card game within this game, Queen's Blood, is incredibly addictive. Story 30. Look up the Wonderland games by Midnight Synergy. I have always replayed them occasionally since my childhood. Outlast Trials and Crash Bandicoot are currently my favorite games. Story 31. State of Decay 2 has been an incredible experience for me. I've invested a lot of time into it, and it truly stands out as one of the best zombie games I have ever played. The base building, scavenging, and community aspects are impressive. It is one of the most underrated games I have encountered in a long time. Story 32. Advance Wars, the second one on Game Boy Advance on an emulator, but I might start playing competitively on Advance Wars by web. Story 33. I can't seem to find something that holds my interest. I finished Red Dead Redemption 2 recently, and since then I have played some Final Fantasy XVI, Horizon Zero Dawn, and A Plague Tale, but I didn't continue with many of them. Story 34. I'm not much of a gamer, but my husband and I have been playing Fortnite with some friends. It may not be a hidden gem since it's very popular, but it's fun in a group. Story 35. I am still playing these games over the years, StarCraft 2, Heroes of the Storm, and sometimes trying something new like Cities, Skylines 2, Supermarket Simulator. Story 36. If you are on Xbox, High on Life was a hidden gem for me. It was a quality game, in my opinion. Story 37. Currently loving Onslaught, the new activity in Destiny 2. If you have never played, all expansions have just been made free to play, leading up to the final chapter. The last absolutely amazing game I couldn't put down was Returnal. It's a roguelike game, quite punishing until you get the hang of things. Story 38. Pixel Dungeon and its variants are open-source games available on several platforms. I am playing Experienced Pixel Dungeon. I recommend completing the original game before trying any of the modifications. Story 39. The only game I have been playing over the past few months is Slay the Spire, the mobile version, so I can enjoy it while lying down. It is short, addictive, and highly replayable. It is the only game I love to play at a time when, although I like the idea of playing a video game, I find it hard to motivate myself to start one. Story 40. Many of my favorite games feel like chores to play, sometimes literally. For instance, Power Washing Simulator, Farming Simulator 22, and American Truck Simulator. I've also been enjoying Fortnite, specifically the Zero Build mode. I uninstalled the game due to building, as I felt you are only as good as your ability to build. When I discovered Zero Build, I tried it and actually enjoyed it. If you like open-world games, I've been loving Red Dead Redemption 2 and the Horizon series, as well as the Star Wars Jedi series. Those games lean more toward Metroidvania than open world, but they have good stories and difficulty settings similar to the Horizon series. Subnautica is fun and includes a few difficulties, including a creative mode. My favorite game is Elite. Dangerous, but it can be quite grindy, so it may not be for everyone. Story 41. Kingdom Hearts. If you want to add stress, try the data battles. If you want to increase the stress in your life, Armored Core 6 is worth it. Story 42. PC. Trackmania never fails to bore me. Switch. The Legend of Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom, however. After about 150 hours, the chore part kicks in. Story 43. I tend to stop playing games if they feel like a chore. Right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, The Sims, and Starfield, and I am waiting for the update on Hogwarts Legacy. I also recommend Red Dead Redemption and The Last of Us. Story 44. I guess the game can seem like a chore, but I've been having a lot of fun in Fallout 76. It might feel like a chore to some people, though, with the inventory management and collecting items. Story 45. Road 96 is a captivating story-based game featuring a 2D/3D design, an engaging narrative, a solid soundtrack, and enjoyable characters. Rating 8 out of 10. Story 46. Battlefield 4 was released over 10 years ago and is still popular today, especially on consoles. If you enjoy Call of Duty and are looking for a similar experience, give it a try. Story 47, Battlestar Galactica, Deadlock. The turn-based nature, combined with an almost cinematic battle, is quite relaxing. Story 48, Cyberpunk and Defiant are my current go-to games. Cyberpunk is truly amazing, and Defiant is perfect when I want to relax and play some simple first-person shooters. Story 49, It depends. If none of my friends join Discord after work and I'm by myself, I'll play single-player games. I love playing Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3. If they do get online, then depending on how many join, it's either Apex Legends, Halo, Naraka, Warzone, or Valorant. Story 50. Disc golf and ice hockey can be enjoyable activities, but they may feel like chores for some. It ultimately depends on your interest in physical activities. Story 51. Currently, I am playing Jennies and Gems, Candy Crush Friends, Royal Match, Decor Match, Homescapes. I absolutely love playing these games. I can hardly put any of them down. Days later, I'll play them again. I also have 7 coloring apps which are very relaxing. I can color and then pick up right where I left off. Additionally, I have around 13 adult-themed coloring books. The pictures are extremely detailed. Story 52. I am replaying Mass Effect again through the Legendary Edition and also finally playing Halo, Master Chief Collection. I am focusing on single-player games by myself, and I am not sure if you are looking for multiplayer games to play or not. Story 53. Screwing with Scammers is my favorite game to play. I can keep them engaged for hours. My second favorite is leading telemarketers on. Story 54. Call of Duty, specifically Rebirth Island. I play it for reasons I can't fully explain. Story 55. I love sim racing, but sometimes I just want to cruise because it calms my mind. I go on some Assetto Corsa or 5M servers to cruise or drift. It's sort of a therapy for me. Story 56. I have been playing V Rising since the 1.0 release, and it is amazing. The combat in the game is unique and enjoyable. Additionally, building your castle is impressive. The ability to decorate it and construct different floors is very cool. Story 57. RD2 deserves all the praise it gets. If you haven't played it, you should. After a 4-year break, I just started a new save in No Man's Sky. It's the hidden gem in my game library that has been totally worth revisiting. Also, RimWorld is always challenging but relaxing at the same time. Story 58. Rocket League is enjoyable to play. I want to play Overwatch, but none of my friends play it anymore, so opening the game feels depressing. Story 59. Slay the Spire. I usually put the show I am watching on another monitor, and then turn my brain off to play for a few hours. Story 60. I just finished Ghostwire Tokyo, and I had a great time. I found it fairly easy to pick up, even though it is an open-world game. There is no complicated customization or similar features. Now, I am moving on to A Plague Tale, Requiem, which is more linear and pretty straightforward. Story 61. I just bought Diablo 4, and I'm having a blast. I don't care about guides that say you must have a specific build with certain items to gain a small increase in damage. I prefer to use the skills that I find fun and enjoy slaying demons. Story 62. I recently finished Nier Automata and Nier Replicant. I am slowly making my way through Outer Worlds. Both Nier games are fairly simple, allowing you to button mash and upgrade your weapons to make fights easier. The story can become intense if you dive into it. Outer Worlds is somewhat similar, but it has a more open-world structure. You can explore different locations, and there is a lot to accomplish in one playthrough. It's worth noting that the Nier games require multiple playthroughs, and you need to complete all quests on your first run. I do not want to be more specific due to spoilers. Story 63. Some games I finished recently that I enjoyed include Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, Sifu, Stardew Valley, and Hollow Knight. Some all-time favorites are the Uncharted series, the God of War series, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the newer Resident Evil games. Story 64. RimWorld offers a variety of war crime scenarios. I have also been playing Circus Electronique after getting it for free from Epic a couple of weeks ago. My girlfriend and I have nearly finished all the maps on Escape Simulator. Story 65. I am currently playing through the Trails franchise. It is mainly story-focused with minimal grinding unless you choose higher difficulties. It satisfies the craving for turn-based JRPGs, though I wish it had a slightly less anime-like style. Think of it as a modern-era Final Fantasy, where the story links all titles together, with a more anime vibe and turn-based combat instead of active time battle. Story 66. I thoroughly enjoy playing The Isle, The Hunter, Call of the Wild, Minecraft, always a safe option, and Far Cry Primal. I find all of them very relaxing games to play and love them whenever I play. Story 67. I picked up the Warhammer Rogue Trader on sale, and I'm really enjoying it. I heard original reviews were not great because of bugs, but so far I have not encountered any issues. There are also helpful reference notes in the text windows that clarify terminology, which is fantastic since I did not know much about it. While it's not as good as Baldur's Gate 3, I'm still having fun. Story 68. Diablo 4, Skyrim, Tunic, and Dragon Age. Inquisition are the games I'm currently playing. Tunic is the most relaxing and laid-back of the four. If you haven't played Tunic yet and you're a fan of old-school Zelda games, give it a try. It is currently available for free on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 with PlayStation Plus. It is a beautiful game that emphasizes exploration, and the combat offers a nice blend of challenge and fun without becoming frustrating. Story 69. Replaying Fallout 3 for the first time since I was a teenager, and I'm hooked. Bethesda open-world games are the only ones I can play. I have tried The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed, The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Elden Ring, but I find them a chore to play and lose interest quickly. Not with these games. Story 70. Diablo 4 New Season. Just me and my skeleton friends watching numbers get bigger and enjoying explosions of loot. Story 71. Fallout 4 for the second time. I played it when it was released, but now I'm going through it again along with the downloadable content. I just finished Far Harbor, which was amazing, except for one mission that definitely felt like a chore. Story 72. Saints Row 2. Unless you are a total completionist, nothing is a chore. It's all fun and games. Story 73. Call of Duty Mobile and only Battle Royale open world games are much better. Red Dead Redemption 2, Skyrim, and Horizon Zero Dawn were all fantastic. Story 74. I have already spent 16 hours playing Half-Life 2 within 3 days of starting it. It's pretty fun, in my opinion, more so than the first game. I am currently at the Nova Prospect chapter. Team Fortress 2 is probably my favorite game. Counter-Strike 2, Helldivers 2, Titanfall 2. I suppose I enjoy sequels. It wasn't even planned. Also, No Man's Sky. Story 75. Fallout 3 and New Vegas using the Begin Again mod pack. It does a great job of tying the stories together. Story 76. I really love Warhammer 40,000 Darktide right now. If you can play the game and enjoy it for what it is a lot of fun. Just defeating heretics and serving the Emperor of Mankind with your fellow warriors. Story 77. Stellar Blade is quite impressive. It has characteristics of a Souls-like game but is significantly more accessible due to the normal difficulty option. I am currently really into fighting games as well, including Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, and even Samurai Showdown 2019, which finally received rollback netcode on consoles last Wednesday. Story 78. Currently, Hellblade 2 feels like a movie. Then there's Ghost of Tsushima. After that, I will try the indie game that people have been talking about, Buckshot Roulette. Story 79. I know this may get buried, but I am quite disappointed that no one has mentioned Grand Theft Auto 5. I have never played online, but the story mode is incredible, and Trevor is probably one of my favorite characters ever. Another noteworthy mention is the Mass Effect series. I do hope that you are playing on PC because it doesn't have aim assist, making it difficult to play with a controller. Then we have Dragon Age. Only the first game is worth playing. The sequels removed all the aspects that made the original enjoyable. Last but not least, we have Fable: The Lost Chapters. It's a very old role-playing game, but it is really good. The sequels have the same problem as the Dragon Age series, and they are disappointing. Story 80. Just hopped back into Diablo for playing it casually. It's pretty fun to not think and mindlessly kill a bunch of enemies. Story 81. Currently, I am playing Nier Automata. It's a game I can truly relax with. All the music and visuals are so soothing despite the combat. The story is remarkable. It can be quite immersive and existentially disturbing with themes that are revealed later. I've played all the endings through twice. Story 82. Helldivers 2 is currently the best game for me. Like many people, I don't have as much time to game as I used to do to work and other commitments. I can log in, play for about an hour, and still have a ton of fun. Even though I don't have any friends to play with, I still enjoy playing with random players. Story 83. Helldivers 2 is currently the best game for me. Like many people, I don't have as much time to play as I used to do to work and other commitments. I can log in, play for about an hour, and still have a ton of fun. Even though I don't have any friends to play with, I enjoy playing with random players. Story 84. Assassin's Creed Revelations offers an enjoyable experience with the hook blade and the storyline. I just wish it were longer. Story 85. I switch between Rust, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and Halo, along with a new game I just started called High on Life. I'm already bored and need something new. Story 86. I have returned to playing FTL. It is a great game on its own, but after completing everything in the base game, I have now started the multiverse mod, which adds a significant amount of new content. It is created by the same developers who made Into the Breach, which I also recommend. Both games are excellent for casual players, as you can spend hours on them or simply enjoy them in relatively short sessions. There is no need to dedicate a lot of time to them. Story 87. The changes in Season 4 of Diablo 4 have eliminated much of the busy work that felt like chores. Although I have consistently played since its release, this season has genuinely improved the game and made many quality of life enhancements. Aside from that, I am really enjoying Dredge as a relaxing game and Gunfire Reborn, which is a first-person shooter roguelike with a similar feel to the Borderlands series. It's easy to jump in for a round and then jump out. Story 88. I thought I was growing out of gaming, as games were no longer fun until I played Elden Ring. 300 hours later, it became my favorite game and introduced me to gamer content on YouTube. Since then, I have also enjoyed Doom Eternal, Prey, Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, Bloodborne, and God of War. The new Need for Speed game is decent too. It's not as good as Carbon or Most Wanted, but it is better than what they have been producing in recent years. Story 89. I am addicted to The Last Spell, a little indie game that combines tactical role-playing game management, roguelite elements, and tower defense mechanics, all set in a captivating grimdark fantasy story presented in pixel art. The game features an impressive original soundtrack. If you love tactical games like XCOM, it is likely to be your favorite. Story 90. I am currently playing through Fallout New Vegas. Where should I start? In my opinion, it is the last true Fallout game, as it was made by the remnants of the original team. The story and RPG elements are phenomenal. It may feel a little dated mechanically, but it is still worth a playthrough if you are a fan of Fallout. Story 91. Disco Elysium is a single-player isometric role-playing game about a detective solving a murder. The only problem is that you drank yourself into amnesia the night before. Now, you have 16 voices in your head telling you what to do. It is a great game for making unusual choices and selecting unconventional dialogue options. The game features significant moments of humanity and philosophy, and it is one of the few games I could describe as political fantasy. Story 92. Fallout New Vegas. I never really finished it, and now I am trying to complete every quest that I previously did not finish. Story 93. When I have time to sit down and play for a while, I enjoy Baldur's Gate 3. that usually only happens on the weekend. I also got Vampire Survivors on the Switch to play anytime. Story 94, Ghost of Tsushima. I bought this game 2 years ago and just started playing it last week. I have finished Act 1 along with all the side missions. Story 95. If you enjoy strategy games, Bannerlord 2 will immerse you in intense gameplay. It combines strategy and diplomacy, allowing you to engage in real-time battles for your kingdom with hundreds, and later thousands of troops. Experience thrilling castle sieges and warfare. Truly is an incredible game. Story 96, South Park. The Stick of Truth and South Park. The Fractured But Whole are both enjoyable, humorous, and accessible. Story 97. I play chess and StarCraft 2. I enjoy strategy games. I prefer chess because it is faster, while StarCraft 2 can be a bit longer. StarCraft 2 is a game I used to play in high school, which evokes a sense of nostalgia for me. Story 98. Bear and Breakfast. You play as a bear building and running a bed and breakfast. It's fun, it's relaxing, and it's charming. Story 99. I just beat Stubbs the Zombie on the original Xbox with my best friend. It is an awesome little gem that has been forgotten over the years, filled with humor, gore, and a touch of social commentary. Took 3 days to complete if you're relaxed, 2 nights if you're determined, and 1 night if you just can't let it go until 3 a.m. like we just did. It was worth it. Story 100. I play Pokemon competitively in the format supported by the Pokemon Company International. Besides that, I have early access to Hades 2 and I play Valorant. I'm also about to play the remastered version of The Thousand Year Door and have the newer God of War games but haven't played them yet. Story 101. If you want some passive yet enjoyable gameplay, I suggest the Sniper Elite series. Sniper Elite V2 would be a great one to start with before progressing to the current versions. Story 102. I am playing Darkest Dungeon on the easiest difficulty while keeping the Curios wiki open. It's relaxing, and I can listen to audiobooks or watch something on another screen. Story 103. The game of life right now. I jump-started my business and have been very busy creating products, reaching out to current clients, looking for new clients, answering emails, and tracking my incoming cash and expenses. My phone is never on Do Not Disturb anymore. I used to play games like NBA 2K, Pokemon Go, Minecraft, Medieval 2, Total War, and RuneScape, but these days I have been too busy. Story 104. No Man's Sky. I was excited for it to come out. I never got around to playing it after it received mixed reviews. I picked it up about a year ago, and it's just great. You can play the game exactly how you want. Story 105. Battlefront 2. Although EA has abandoned it, the game offers a relaxed experience compared to Call of Duty or Battlefield, and it is less gruesome. Story 106. Metro Last Light, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, and Firewatch are great games to play in the evenings. Story 107. I just completed Half-Life 2 and all its episodes. I would recommend it 10 out of 10. It is the best first-person shooter I've ever played. The game features fun puzzles and challenges, and it has an easy mode, making it suitable for casual gameplay. The original Half-Life is also worth trying, though it is a bit harder. Story 108. Rocket League is different for me as a content creator. It feels much different from when I played for fun without any specific goal. Story 109. I bought Killer Frequency a few days ago and had a great time playing it. I completed it in a few sessions, as I wanted to enjoy the game for a longer period. Story 110. I am currently playing Cyberpunk. The downloadable content is great. If you are looking for casual gameplay, it is also a fantastic game because the fights are not too difficult on high difficulty settings. The only thing that irritates me is the requirement to use fists in combat. The story is engaging, and you should definitely play Cyberpunk if you are a casual player. I also play Sea of Thieves with my brother. The game is excellent, especially the player versus environment aspect, but player versus player can be challenging for casual players. Story 111. Balatro and Hades allow for a short 30-minute gameplay session, sometimes even less, making it easy to turn off. There are many indie games that offer brief experiences and evoke strong emotions. The last one I played was Unboxing. Story 112. Deep Woken is an online roguelike game where you lose everything upon death. It features hunger and thirst bars, blood levels, magic, player versus player combat, player versus environment challenges, crafting, loot, progression, and complex systems. Story 113. It looks like most of the comments are about console games, but for mobile, I prefer classic games like Tetris and Lemmings. There are tournaments, but mainly it's just a simple game that encourages thinking. I tend to play these games while in the bathroom or when I'm waiting in my car to pick someone up. Story 114. Definitely, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. You need to play Breath of the Wild first, though. Both are amazing games. Story 115. If you have seen the movie Moneyball and are also interested in football, this is the game for you. Story 116. As a programmer, I have found Factorio to be extremely addictive, to the point that I am concerned about playing it again for fear of relapsing. Story 117. BeamNG Drive is a game where you can drive around in free roam while your mind wanders. If you speed or crash, it is fun, and there are no repercussions. Story 118. Valheim has a nice pace, featuring a good mixture of relaxed grinding and building, along with thrilling fights and dungeon raids. Story 119. Hell Let Loose had an obsession with it for a couple of months, but I have regulated myself better now. Story 120. Modded Minecraft. I am 140 hours into the mod pack called All the Mods 9 No Frills. It has a lot of things to do, and I am discovering new mods I haven't played with yet. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it is definitely fun to play. Story 121. Civilization games are enjoyable. I often play Fallout, Skyrim, and I regularly play Sins of a Solar Empire. Currently, I am playing XCOM 2. I usually prefer older games or those that are becoming vintage. Story 122. Mostly older games, but 1. Rogue Trader Warhammer 40,000 role-playing game. 2. Infinite Space, a handheld space opera title and an old classic. 3. Age of Empires 2, the best real-time strategy game. 4. Disco Elysium, a well-crafted story-based indie role-playing game. 5. The Witcher 3, one of the best games ever made. 6. Blade of Darkness, an ultra-violent precursor to the Souls series. 7. Metal Gear Solid 3, the best stealth game. Story 123. I'm currently in Alien mode with Alien Romulus releasing soon. I finished Alien Isolation on Friday evening and began Aliens Dark Descent on Saturday. I also play Football Manager and have a big summer transfer window coming up. We have been newly promoted to the Premier League via the playoffs and are heavy favorites to be relegated straight back down. Story 124. V Rising is the kind of game you think about while at work and can't wait to play once you get home. Story 125. Mass Effect 2 from the Legendary Edition. I loved the first game and am having a great time with the second one so far. It features a nice story, well-developed characters, and I really appreciate the political, societal, and moral decisions the game presents to you. Story 126. I play at least one of the Batman Arkham games once a year. If it's your first time playing, it might seem like a chore because you'll want to find every riddle. I have finally made it past the point of needing to find them all, especially since I just discovered there is one riddle I can't solve in Arkham City on the Xbox Series X. It's frustrating, so I'm only finding the minimum to confront that Riddler. Anyway, it's not a hidden gem, but those games are great. Also, play Portal and Portal 2. I am not a gamer. Story 127. 4 single player. The games are Avatar, Frontier of Pandora, Power Wash Simulator, and I plan to start Death Stranding today or tomorrow. For multiplayer, the games include Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers 2, and the gunfight mode in Call of Duty. Story 128. I just got it World. Stranger's Wrath HD. I haven't played this since the original Xbox, and I really missed this game. Games back then were so much fun. Story 129. Terraria is an enjoyable sandbox adventure game that is a colorful two-dimensional side-scroller reminiscent of many Super Nintendo Entertainment System games. It presents challenges while maintaining a relaxed atmosphere. As a casual gamer, I can confidently say that I have invested more hours into this game than any other. I often find myself thinking, okay, just going to play for a little while, only to realize later, oh no, it's 2 a.m.? Story 130, Fallout, New Vegas. There is one initial task, which is using the Viva New Vegas mod guide to stabilize and update the game. Took me 2 hours to complete that. However, I am now 25 hours into the game without a single crash. Story 131. Vampire Survivors is a simple game that involves only joystick movement. It is highly addictive and perfect for listening to podcasts on a rainy day. Story 132. I wish I had a game like that, but having to buy a console or computer to play it seems like a hassle. Also, it will be older games that are played like Halo 3. That was an epic game. Story 133. Hades 1 and 2 provide the greatest thrill in the market. They require minimal commitment and are relatively inexpensive compared to other options available. If you enjoy these games, you may also like other roguelike games. Hades was my first, and it is quickly becoming my favorite genre due to its speed, fun, rewarding nature, affordability, and low commitment. You could also try Slay the Spire or Death Must Die if you liked Hades. If it resonates with you, you won't want to stop playing anytime soon. Story 134. Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Iceborne are on sale right now along with Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Sunbreak for $30 on Steam. They are both very fun to play, although I particularly like Iceborne. There are many players online, and more are starting for the first time as the game is experiencing a resurgence. You track monsters, hunt them, and craft weapons and armor from them. When you get really good, you can join SOS flares to help new players and learn to play with different weapons. There are 14 weapons in the game to choose from, each with its own playstyle and satisfying nuances. I personally love the insect glaive, but I also enjoy using the lance, sword and shield, and great sword. I'm currently attempting to learn the hunting horn and long sword. It takes some time to get used to, as you have to learn to read the monster's combos and avoid them. But once you do, playing becomes immensely satisfying. You can play at your own pace, whether casually or intensely. Right now, I'm focusing on learning the hunting horn and longsword while primarily helping new players who are still learning the game. Story 135. LEGO Star Wars. The Skywalker Saga is a great game to play casually and explore, but you can also complete missions if you wish. Story 136. I play Royal Match during my break after work. It's like Candy Crush, but a bit more enjoyable. My wife actually plays this game, and we used to date while playing it for hours at home. Story 137. Crokinole is a dexterity tabletop game. Friends ask to come over more often now because I have the board. We even alternate between 4-player, 3-player, and 2-player games, playing for hours on end. It is such an addictive game. Story 138. Just started Kingdoms of Amalur. Re-Reckoning, the remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur. Reckoning from 2012. I only ever started the game and completed the tutorial back in 2015. Decided to play it this week, and it's great considering how old it is. Story 139. You have some great games listed. I have some of them in my library, but I have to be honest and say that MLB The Show 24 is my favorite. When I just want to play a game, it's that one. I can save mid-game for when my spouse or child needs something. I can pick it up and put it back down after an inning or two. Story 140. Cyberpunk 2077. I have played through it once for each ending, except for the new downloadable content. Treat it like a role-playing game. Don't maximize efficiency or increase the difficulty unless you want to. Just enjoy the story and roleplay based on your background. Story 141. Bertado. I am really surprised how a game with such simple visuals and audio is so appealing. I suppose the answer is good game design. I love that I can start it up for a straightforward 30-minute experience of pure, immersive gameplay. Having experienced this, any game that wastes my time without providing something meaningful in return just loses my interest. Story 142. Nightmare Reaper. It is an old-school shooter with some modern elements that you can pick up and put down whenever you have time. It is always fun. Noida, a 2D game where every pixel is simulated for physics. There is a complex magic system that allows you to combine various spells. Story 143. I am not currently playing it, but I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy a few weeks ago. I was actually excited to play it, unlike most games recently. Story 144. Baldur's Gate 3. I am currently doing an Evil Second playthrough. I have put it on pause since Act 3 is still fresh in my mind, and I want a bit longer between playing it. Battle Brothers. This game has somehow become my comfort game, and I keep returning to it. The art style may throw some people off, but if you can get past that, the gameplay loop is quite addictive. Symphony of War. I picked up this Fire Emblem clone, which has a few different squad-based mechanics and doesn't include as much of the dating simulation content that has dominated the recent Fire Emblem games. Battle Brothers is the only open-ended game I am playing right now. Everything else has a finishing point. I have made decent progress in working through my game backlog over the last few months. Story 145. Slay the Spire. Play it vanilla or modded. Out of boredom, I create strange but fun decks. With 1900 hours in, I still enjoy it immensely. It's my go-to game during downtime. I also enjoy Skyrim. I have not yet maxed Alchemy and Enchanting, so those are my current goals for this playthrough. I am also avoiding archery, as I tend to rely on it too often. Lastly, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I'm not very good at it, but it is so much fun. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.